Virgin Voyages has changed the landscape on cruise dining. Rather than the traditional main dining concept, they instead offer multiple restaurants which on other cruise lines would be offered as an upcharge specialty restaurant. If you aren't able to get a reservation on any given night, there are other casual dining options in the galley, or you can get one of the takeaway boxes. I'm on day 7 of a 14-day repositioning cruise from Barcelona to Miami. I've had dinner in all the restaurants other than the Wake, which is their steakhouse. I did go to the Wake one morning for brunch, so I have eaten in all the restaurants. A friend of mine asked me to compare the food on Resilient Lady to the food on Princess, which is my go-to cruise line. I can't do that though, since Virgin's food is so good it just tap dances all over Princess's face. Please forgive me for that comment, Chef Barbu. Sadly, I don't have many pictures to show you. The food is so good that instead of reaching for my camera, I reach for my fork and start chowing down like I haven't just eaten something else 5 minutes earlier. When my plate is empty, I do just like she used to do to me, and I stare at everyone else's plate and ask if I can have some of theirs. On night 1, we ate at Pink Agave, the Mexican restaurant. There were 4 of us at the table, so we ordered all the small plates on the menu and shared. One we all agreed on was outstanding was the esquitas, which was the same as elote or street corn but served in a bowl. The corn was fresh, well seasoned, and the crema and cheese did not overwhelm the corn. For the medium plate, the other 3 at the table ordered the enchilada and papas y chorizo to share, but I was not in the mood to share, so I ordered my own papas y chorizo. I was so happy that I was greedy. The potatoes were seasoned and fried like Shakey's Pizza's Mojos, and then generously sprinkled with chorizo that had been cooked into the sausage version of bacon bits. For the main, I chose the steak, which was a ribeye served with a cheese sauce on top. I know, it sounds weird, but it works very, very well. For night 6, 2 of us returned to Pink Agave. I chose the corn and potatoes again for my appetizers, but for the main course I elected to get their special of the day, which was turkey, like Thanksgiving Day turkey, with cranberry sauce and cornbread stuffing. The gravy was slightly non-traditional, using instead cumin and cilantro. The turkey's seasonings also included cumin, and it was cooked to perfection. On night 2, dinner was at the test kitchen, which features molecular gastronomy cuisine like this sexy smoked pea dish. It's a set menu, but our waiter wanted us to have an amazing meal, so if we didn't care for something, he would bring out the vegan course, which was always amazing. When we got to the main course, as you can see here, it was very playfully presented with berry blood splashing everywhere. We couldn't decide on the beef or venison, so he brought both of us beef and a venison to share. The palate cleanser was a delicious blue cheese ice cream. For dessert, the one on our menu was good, but the vegan dessert pictured here was absolutely outstanding. They will be changing the test kitchen menu 2 times before the end of the cruise, and we've already made our reservations. For night 3, dinner was at Extra Virgin, the Italian restaurant. The amount of food served to us would have made any traditional Italian mama very happy. We had a meat and cheese plate served for the table. I chose the meatballs for my appetizer, partially consumed photo above. We split a pasta course of spaghetti with a beef and pork sauce. The noodles were freshly made, of course. And I had the steak with a compound butter for the main course. All of the courses were well made and delicious. On night 4, it was off to Razzle Dazzle for dinner. Razzle Dazzle is their vegetarian, vegan-forward restaurant, but they still have a whole lot of meat on their menu. For the appetizer, I chose the Old Bay chicken wings, real chicken, which were fried well and served with a tasty peppercorn aioli. We both elected to get the short rib pastrami for the main course, but after realizing he forgot to tell us the special of the day, our server came back to tell us about it and ask if we wanted to change our order. This is just one example of the above and beyond customer service on Virgin. We did choose to change because the special of the day was barbecue ribs. They were cooked perfectly, so fall off the bone tender and juicy you had to use a fork because any attempt to pick them up was a failure. I honestly was not a fan of the sides, but I was getting so full at that point the sides weren't really needed anyway. Now for dessert, I can actually do a direct comparison between Princess and Virgin. This is the Princess Creme Brulee. Delicious, but usually a bit loose in the setting. Now, this is the Virgin Creme Brulee. Delicious fresh fruit on top, firm setting, and a strong vanilla taste leaning almost into a caramel flavor. This was probably the best creme brulee I've ever had. Night 5 was the shared table Korean barbecue diner, Gunbae. It was a fun experience. The meal started out with a drinking game that I didn't really understand, so thankfully I was knocked out early. When it came time to order, our host said that we could choose our own menu, or he could choose for us. We elected to let him choose the meal since he was the one cooking it. The parade of food started out with a tray of small appetizers, kimchi, watercress salad, noodle salad, and a couple of other treats. The kimchi and watercress salad were the standouts for me. Next up was a couple of different appetizers, one a fried chicken and the other a rice bowl. Finally, we arrived at the main course, which was 5 different types of seafood and short rib strips cooked at the table. All of the food at Gunbae was really good, but I'd rather return to one of the other restaurants than another dinner at Gunbae. Your taste buds may feel otherwise though, so you do you, boo. Night 6 we covered earlier, so let's discuss the brunch offerings that they have. The Wake has traditional brunch, steak and eggs, eggs benedict, and the like. I tried the steak and eggs, which was very good, and I plan to go back to try the brioche French toast. In my opinion, Razzle Dazzle has the better brunch. They have this wonderful chicken sandwich with beet aioli served on a black bun, along with many vegan, vegetarian options. You can also go in and order a la carte. This morning I chose eggs, bacon, and fries. I probably won't get the bacon again. It was tasty, but it was covered in syrup, and I'm trying to get back to just eating carnivore for the rest of the cruise. Actually, carnivore adjacent, since I'm not giving up on those crazy good french fries. The galley is Virgin's Not Buffet. They have several little storefronts for lunch and dinner, and they each have their own specialty. There are booths for salads, sushi, burgers, tacos, pressed sandwiches, noodles, and sweet stuff. There is also the Diner and Dash, which focuses primarily on all-day breakfast. During actual breakfast hours, they all serve breakfast foods. A couple of places have the traditional eggs, bacon, and the like, and then there's one station with granola and yogurt, one that offers pancakes, another with breakfast burritos, and the sushi place has bento boxes with fruits or veggies. The galley is also where you can find the takeaway boxes. They have plastic to-go boxes if you just want to grab something and head back to your room. In the morning they have breakfasty stuff like you see above. In the afternoon and evening they have sandwiches and salads. They are not to be taken off the ship though, so don't try to grab one as you're heading out to the port. I have picked them up the night before port day and stuck them in the refrigerator, so in the morning I have a nice sandwich for breakfast. Here's a helpful hint if you want to do that. Grab both a sandwich box and a dessert bowl. Put the dessert bowl in the fridge first, then the sandwich box on top of that. The sandwich box is actually too wide so the refrigerator door won't shut. The dessert bowl, yay, elevates it to the point that you can close the door. The fact that it justifies dessert with breakfast is just a bonus. Tonight is a paid meal, a dinner show called Another Rose. I'll save that review for another time. Thanks for watching, everyone.